I know that you're a sophomore now, and I know that you said you did do theater in a previous but a different school. What is different from coming to a different school in your theater program at your old school than coming to a theater program here?
Well, coming to a theater program here, I didn't, get to do all of the same things I got to do at other schools because of COVID. Plus, our school has like different rules because of high school, so we're allowed to be a bit more inappropriate, but not too much. So that's cool.
What is something that you have learned with the course of not having the auditorium right now since it's under construction? And so what's some things that you do guys to improvise not having that auditorium?
So right now, I think it's called the lecture hall is really where we do the most stage type things that we would normally do in the auditorium. I think we can also, if we get enough money from ITS, we can also go to stages and auditoriums at different schools at Chrisman, but we can't do that yet. So.
Do you feel like you're going to pursue this in a later school year, like on to your junior and your senior year?
Probably. It's fun, and I mean, it helps with more than just acting. So if you wanted a career in something like business, it helps you learn how to project your voice and stuff.
So do you feel like this has helped you grow?
Yeah, I think so. Freshman year, I was kind of quiet. I was scared of a lot of people. So I sort of like isolated myself, which usually isn't something I do. I'm usually a pretty loud person. So acting really helped me come back to being out of my shell.
Well, thank you so much for letting us interview. You did great. I know this is your junior year, and since you've been in acting for a couple years, what has been a major change in the acting world since everything's been changing with COVID and like the theater production changing? What has been like a major impact?
So there's been a lot of changes in our theater department over the past 3 years since I've been here. My freshman year we had Mr. Meyer, and then immediately my sophomore year we got a brand new director, Mr. Nanny, so that was our first big change. Of course then COVID hit, and so we couldn't have a fall musical, which was a setback, and then now our auditorium's under construction, so we can't really do a show. So we have faced a lot of challenges in the past 3 years, to say the least.
What has been something that you have overcame knowing that all these changes have impacted you?
When we did Sister Act last year, it was our spring musical, we actually had a really bad COVID outbreak. Almost all of us ended up getting sick, and we thought that we were gonna have to cancel the show. And then our auditorium construction started, so we had to move our show to another school, and we had to do the show after we all had gotten better from COVID, and there was a point in time when we didn't think that the show was gonna be able to happen. So that was something we had to push through, but we ended up making it.
So do you have any advice for lower classmen trying to go into the theater program or anything?
Honestly, theater is one of the most opening, just fun environments. Just try to get involved, come to our ITS meetings. We would love to have you there. We need underclassmen, so just don't be afraid to show up and show out, be you, and be bold.
Well, thank you so much. You did
You're
great.
welcome.
Since this is your first year in the theater program, what is some challenges that you face knowing that the auditorium is not in works right now?
The space. The space.
Have you learned anything different this year?
Yeah, just go with it, even though you mess up sometimes.
Is there anything that he has taught you guys as a life lesson to get you ready for like the theater world if you may pursue this as a career?
Like I said, just go along with it and stuff.
Do you know if you want to take this further and want to do it next year?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. With this being your last year, you being a senior, what has changed in the acting and the theater program that has really impacted you as you're coming up?
Okay, so not only has the teachers changed, but since the theater is under construction, they are adding a new theater because the lecture hall is now turned into a theater. We don't have the access to have that physical learning. Right now, we have to use our Chromebooks and do we have to think about what we want design to be for a play or musical instead of actually creating it. We have to put it on Chromebooks and we have to use devices and not actually have an in-person learning with the set designs and stuff on the stage.
How do you feel that you cannot use the auditorium this year with it being your last year?
It kind of feels like a setback because we can't really learn how to design a theater without actually being in a theater. So that is really what's impacting me now.
Would you take this learning experience and going to college? Like, are you going to college for theater and acting?
Yes, I'll be going to college for vocal performance and musical.
Is there any advice you would give to the lower classmen going into them being in acting in theater?
I feel like you guys should give it a try because after we leave, of course, the theater will be complete. So I feel like you should still give it a try because you guys will have a better experience because it'll be done about in a couple of months. And plus, it's a 1 semester class, and so it'll be probably ready next year. So it'll be good for you guys anyway.
Well, thank you so much for letting us interview you.